Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. Today is Tuesday, and it is 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I tell you, we got a great show today, you all. You do not want to miss a word that's going to be coming out of this powerful brother's mouth. So I encourage you, get some popcorn. He gonna tell y'all a story, and you gonna want to hear it. Okay, so just stand by. Don't go nowhere. Let me give you all a shout out. I have a shout out that I want to give you. My mentor, Dr. Hunt. Dr. Hunt and I have been traveling together for 30 plus years. And out of that 30 plus years that we have been traveling together, he has been a blessing to both me and my family, as well as I have been a blessing to him and his family. So I encourage you all to get a mentor, somebody that you can trust, somebody that you can count on that's been in this world that can help you navigate through the ups and downs of what goes on in this world. And I tell you, it'll make life so much easier. And once you get a mentor, then I want you to get a show so you can shout your mentor out. Okay? So get them. You need them. We all need them. We need more than one. I have several. So I encourage you, get a mentor. They make life so much easier. All right. I want to invite you guys to go over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. When you get over there, I want you to take a look around, check out all of my advertisers. My advertisers make it possible for me to do what I do. And I tell you, I vetted them out. I can tell you that each and every one of my mentors is who they say they are. And I'm going to talk to you about a couple of them today. Okay? So the first thing I want you to do is take a look at Serve Synergy. If you go to any of the banners or flyers that are on my website, you'll be able to um, go directly to their website. Serve Synergy will help you understand what the solar panel business is all about. They offer classes, they teach people how to be able to install, work in that solar panel space, and you're going to want to know everything you need to know about solar panels. They can help you. The next one I want to talk about is Port Again Sam. Port Again Sam has been a sponsor for my show for the last 10 years. And I tell you, he brings in some of the best wines and spirits from all over the world. And I tell you, if you don't know what your next favorite wine is going to be because you have never been to Sam, give him a call, set up a wine tasting, and then that way you'll be able to check out what he has in stock. Now, I'm going to tell you the best secret that a lot of people won't tell you. If you find something you like, which you will, you're going to buy as much of it as you can, because when inventory is over with, it's gone. You ain't going to see that no more because it's all exclusive. Nothing but the best. The next one I want to tell you about is, excuse me, y'all. The next one I want to tell you about is the Prince Hunter Group. Excuse me, the Prince Hunter Financial Group is educating people about the stock market. And the stock market is a place where people can make plenty of money, but you got to be taught. You got to take classes. And the Prince Hunter Financial Group can help you navigate and learn your way around the stock market. So I encourage you to get in touch with them and get some knowledge. He's offering a special promotion for four free classes. Four free classes. If you tell them you heard about it here on the Ask Dr. Ron show, then you can start your learning experience and begin to navigate your way to beginning how to build financial wealth for your family. That's the Prince Hunter Financial Group. Click on any of the banners. They will help you navigate your way through the stock market. Okay? So now, today's guest has never been on the show before. This is his very first time here. And I'm excited to have him on the show today because he is such a wealth of knowledge. And I'm looking to pick his brain today so we can find out all he's willing to tell.
Uh-oh.
So, welcome to the show for the very first time, my brother, my friend, Marlon Rias. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Man, thank you for having me, Dr. Ron. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. It is my pleasure and my honor. So, hold on a second. I need to turn my volume up a little bit. People are always saying, ah, we lost the call. What happened? Uh-oh, we got to get him back. Hold on a second, y'all. The call dropped out. You back? You there?
I, I'm here.
I don't know what happened, but the call dropped out.
I
But
don't
we got
know.
you back. I don't see
Has
you
it?
yet.
I put to say show the videos. On. Yeah, videos. There it goes.
There we go. Okay.
Sorry
So
about that.
now I know that you are a local businessman and politician in the city of Hazel Crest.
Hmm.
And your current mayor is also a good friend of mine and a friend to the show. He's been on the show many times before, and he always brings us good information. So I'm counting on you to be able to do the same thing. So,
Okay.
what do you do over there at the city?
So I am currently a village trustee. I have in my second term as trustee. I did 2 years as the village clerk. So in total now, I'm 10 years on the village board.
10 years.
Yep,
Okay.
2 years on the village board.
Okay.
Uh,
So,
um,
so it's safe to say you're responsible for a lot of the successes over there?
I've had my part. It's been a team effort. It's the one thing I'll say that as we've had a stable government in Hazel Crest, we've been able to do some great things um, under the mayor's leadership. We have been able to grow Hazel Crest, I think, and I think we put Hazel Crest on the map in the south suburbs for sure.
Yeah. We were blessed to have the first African American mayor on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Mr. Bill Brown,
Yes, sir. You
Mr. Bill
know,
Brown, good friend, good friend, good
yeah,
friend,
yeah, he's a good
good friend,
brother, man.
good brother.
And he came and gave us some very good history about the area,
Yeah,
what it was like when he first got there,
yeah.
and and he left it in good hands.
Yeah, like you spoke about when you're in your opening about mentors. I guess I talk with Bill all the time. I talk with Bernard all the time. So I guess they would be considered mentors of mine because I do talk to them and pick their brains as well when we have the time. When we have the time.
Yeah. Mentors are valuable. A lot of people don't understand the value of a mentor.
Yep.
Mentors make it possible for us not to have to recreate the wheel.
Yeah.
You know, a mentor told me a long time ago, the path of life is well worn, but each
Mm.
step you take is a new one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a good one.
It is. I think back when you were speaking about the having a mentor and the positivity of having a good mentor, multiple mentors, had me thinking about my first one, my first mentor I had, and I think about him from time to time. We're not in as much as communication as we used to be because he moved out of the state. But I'm so thankful for that brother. When I first met him, I was about 19 years old, and um, for him to take his time with me, talk with me, and one of the best things he did for me, was put a book in my hand and he always shared knowledge with me by putting a book in my hand. Marlon, you got to read. Marlon, you got to read. Marlon, you got to read. And I thank him for that, because he was, he came at a time when I was a young man trying to find my way, and he really showed me, a way of being as a young man in the '90s.
Yeah. It's interesting you should say that. Another one of my mentors was my grandfather.
Yeah.
My grandfather lived to be 100+ years old.
Oh wow.
Nobody
Wow.
can say definitely, how much over 100 he lived to be, because they didn't keep accurate records in
Records.
his
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
and he was
Yeah.
actually from the Bahamas.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so a midwife. Nobody can vouch,
Yeah. Yeah.
for his accuracy of age. But I never will forget. I was 30 years old, and I had just had my first baby, and me knowing that he was an entrepreneur, he was a barber in the
Mm.
city of Chicago, and back in policy days and number running days, the
Old school
barbershop,
Chicago. Old
yeah,
school Chicago. Yeah.
so the barbershop was the spot. Everything in the community happened,
At the barbershop.
at the
Yeah.
barbershop,
Yeah.
exactly. So when my grandfather, I went to go see him, and I was like, okay, what great wisdom. I went to go sit at the feet of the great one, you know, and I was like, uh, I'm like, what can you tell me that is so important that would help me be, of great value, being a new father and all of these things. And he did me the same way. He put a book in front of me. He said, boy, read the Bible.
Yeah. Most important book.
I got disappointed because
Yeah.
I didn't
Disappointed. Okay.
understand
Okay.
the
Okay.
message of what he was giving me. He was giving me the keys to
Hmm.
understand, everything I needed to know in life.
Yeah.
And at 30 years old, I didn't understand that message. I was like, are you kidding me? I came all the way down here, for you to tell me that. I left away disappointed.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I didn't
Wow.
get it.
Wow. Wow.
I couldn't comprehend the message.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So as life progressed, had more children, and then I began to understand, man, he gave me the keys to the kingdom.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I was like, man, so I understand when somebody put a book in your hand,
Put a
the
book in your hand, man.
value of having that book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He just put a discipline in me about reading, and I go on my peaks and valleys of my adulthood when I pick and read books and everything, but it's important to read something every day. I don't care if you read a couple of paragraphs, read a news article, whatever it is that make pique your interest. But it's important to read something every day. I think it keeps you sharp, and that's the one thing he did give to me early on, and I still do it to this day. I read
yeah,
something every day.
yeah,
It's just a habit. I have to read something every day.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got a couple of comments here. Let me shout them out right quick. P. Hunter's on the line.
Hmm.
He says, looks like I came in right at the right. Y'all talk my language. He said, a person who doesn't read is just as bad as a person who can't read.
Mm.
Come on now.
Mm. Yeah, that's a good one there.
Yeah,
That's a
that's a
good one
good
there.
one. Yeah,
That's
so
a
I
good one.
appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. So tell us a little bit more about yourself, if you don't mind. I know you're in politics, so what
Okay.
else you got going on?
Okay. We'll do a little brief synopsis of me. Uh, Born in Chicago, Roseland Hospital. Roseland Hospital, where I was born at, but I was raised in Harvey. Grew up in Harvey. Parents still have the home in Harvey. My father still has the home in Harvey. Um, grew up during the '80s and '90s in Harvey. It was a different place when I was there. We came in the '70s. Harvey was still, a moving city. Um, I pray that Harvey still makes a comeback. I think it will one day. But
Yeah,
I grew up in Harvey. Active kid. Play sports. football, basketball, baseball, whatever I can gravitate to, whatever the sport was, whatever they were playing, I was playing it. That was my thing. Went to Thornton High School, graduated in '92. Um, was able to play on the only state championship football team that Thornton had. We won state championship in '91. So I played football my varsity years and ran track. So I had some good times at Thornton playing ball. We had a lot of success. From my sophomore year to my senior year, we lost in sophomore year. We lost. We were runner up in state. My junior year, we won state, and my senior year, we lost in the third round. So I kind of was spoiled by my time in Thornton because we were always winning, and I ran track as well. As a junior, I was the number 7 hurdler in the state of Illinois, and at one time, my senior year, I was the number 1 hurdler in the state of Illinois when I was in high school. So I did pretty good playing sports, and that took me, getting out of high school, and I went to college, played football for a little bit, ended up leaving and going to a business school in the '90s, taking up accounting, and then finding my way a little bit. I was a young guy. And it's the thing I talk to young people about it all the time too, because I was a young father. I was 19 when I first had my first kid. I was a young man, and I had to find my way a little bit, and that's when I found that mentor of mine, and I was trying to in between. I was going to school and trying to work a job, and my little car broke down, and I seen this body shop was hiring that was like 4 blocks from my parents' house. And I said, well, man, I could get there. I could walk there. I don't need my car right now. I can walk there. And just because I played football with a guy, I walked to the office. I played football with a guy, and he remembered me from high school. And he said, hey, man, what's going on? How you doing? I said, man, I'm doing all right, man. I'm just looking for a job. And the owner of that body shop's daughter was at the front desk. The secretary wrote down a note that I knew that guy, and they hired me off of that because I knew that guy, and ended up spending 22 years working for that company. Went from, my first day there, I was cleaning cars up, just trying to do anything, obviously, because going to school, just trying to work and everything. And I went from cleaning cars to the third day I was there, I was working in the paint department, learning how to paint cars. So I painted cars for 6 years. Then I went into management, and I was in management for 15, 16 years, managing body shops. I managed shops, as small as 4 or 5 people to 30 or 40 people in the shop. And, the last shop I had was a $5 million a year body shop that I managed with like almost 40 employees. So, I got a lot of knowledge in that business, a lot of, they invested in me, and I appreciate that. Like I said, that early mentor, putting those jewels in my hand, got me reading, and they invested in me. They sent me to, obviously I took a lot of management classes and a lot of classes to learn how to manage. And I was thankful to meet those folks when I met them. The owner of that body shop was an oldest Jewish guy, and he was a great mentor to me too, because they both just poured into me with that reading. And they constantly challenged me with just with running the shop. I can remember being 19 years old, and the first question they asked me, do you have a problem telling someone older than you what to do? And I say, huh? What do you mean by that? So if I give you direction, can you give direction? And I said, yeah, I can do that. And that was it. They don't know what they did. I guess they did hit a switch in me, and I've been leading. I always led, as a young person, but that just took me off, and I got into management, after a few years, and was able to manage those body shops all those years.
That sounds great.
And
Now,
only black guy too. Now, come on,
right.
this wasn't a business where I was in some rooms by myself. Put it that way. A lot of years.
Yeah, that's
A lot of
good.
years.
That's good. So now let's go back to Thornton a little bit because I'm a
Okay.
Thornton alumni too.
I didn't know that.
Yes, sir.
What class did you come out in, Dr. Ron?
1976.
All right. All right. All right.
Yeah.
So my mentor went to Thornton as well. He graduated a couple of years behind you. Since you went to Thornton, I don't know. His name was Keith Green. I don't know if you know the brother. His name was Keith Green. They lived over by where did their family grow up over there, off 154th. You know where I guess the Popeye's Chicken is closed now. It used to be a grocery store across the street from there.
Right,
They grew
right.
up, they grew up in
Yeah,
that neighborhood right over there.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I remember all of that. See, back when I was a young man in the 70s, we still had a large population of Europeans that lived in the city.
we did.
You know,
We
I
did.
was actually part of the political machine that got David Johnson elected,
Hmm.
Otis Gilmore,
Hmm.
Damon Rocket. You
Hmm.
know,
I know
Ern,
of
Ern,
all of those gentlemen. Yep.
yeah, Ernestine
Yeah.
Barry Beck.
Yeah.
And we took over. And it's a historical moment because it was during the time, it was early '80s actually, when we took Harvey. Harold Washington took Chicago.
At the same time, David Johnson, I believe, became mayor in '83
Yep,
or 83. Yeah,
83. Yep,
83.
80, 82, 83. Yep.
82, 83. I remember a good friend of mine, Cliff Taylor. His mother is Gloria Taylor,
Yeah, I know
and
Gloria. Yeah,
Taylor. Yeah, she.
yeah, Gloria.
So we talk about we talk the old Harvey stuff all the time. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
one thing as I got into politics as I've gotten older here now, I do my homework. I've studied all Chicago politics. I've studied all South suburban politics. I have tried to keep my ear to what's happening in the South suburbs of Chicago. So
Yep.
I've done my homework. I know of all the old uh,
Old
politicians
heads.
who
Yeah,
old
old
heads.
heads. Yeah,
I've done my homework. I've done my
yeah,
homework. You
yeah.
got to you got. It's important to know where you came from.
Right. Otis and I are still best friends to this day.
Okay.
And of course, David passed away.
He passed away a couple of years ago. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
it was literally unheard of, for blacks to just take over a whole town.
Yeah. And at that time, the time you're speaking of, I was a young man at that time, but a lot of people don't know this about Harvey. Harvey had everything that you could think of to be a big city. They had every major car dealership in Harvey at that time. They
Yep.
had, it was employment. Everything went through Harvey. Everything still goes through Harvey.
Yep.
Harvey owns his own water. Harvey has two metro stations. Harvey has a 95th Street style depot right there on 154th Street.
Yep.
So and they have the railroads going through Harvey. So
Yep.
Harvey
All
Harvey
rails.
Harvey
Yep.
Harvey was the major city in the south suburbs for many many years. Everything went through Harvey.
Steel
Still
steel
does.
mills.
Steel Mills, Wyman and
Yep.
Gordon,
Yep.
Wyman and
Yep.
Gordon, Allied
Grocery
Two,
stores. I,
grocery
I,
store.
I actually remember when Dixie Square was a thriving mall.
Yep, yep.
You
When I was a
know,
kid, it shut down in the '70s, in the late '70s or whatever. But yeah, they filmed the Blues Brothers there, right?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
filmed the
They
Blues
filmed the
Brothers.
Blues Brothers. Tore that mall up.
Tow it up. Yep,
Yep. And I
tow it
think
up.
it took them 30 years to finally finish tearing it down. Yeah,
Yep,
because they left it. When they left a mess.
they did.
But
Yep.
Harvey's got an interesting history. Now fast forward a little bit. You said you were on the only championship team, so that means you were on the team with Napoleon Harris.
No, 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 no. He's years behind me. They never they never won a championship. They never won a championship.
Okay.
So we won in '91. So that team, our best player on that team was a guy named David Wright. He ended up going to Indiana State, was All American at Indiana State. We had several guys that that off those teams go. What we did was birthed what came behind which was Napoleon and Antoine and some of those guys. They came right after us.
Right.
But yeah, but he's a couple of years behind me.
Now I
Napo
got
is.
I got a crazy question.
Okay.
Now, Thornton had a history of having race riots every
In a,
year that went all the way back to the 50s.
right.
So were they still having race riots when you were there?
No, you have to think. I came into Thornton in '88, I believe. That was my first year, my freshman year. It was predominantly black by that time.
Okay.
Um, so that had passed by the time when I got to Thornton. Now we had our own challenges at that time. We were, you're coming off the '80s, man. You know what was happening in the '80s here. So
Yeah.
that was the change of Harvey at that time. That
Yeah.
the mid '80s to the mid '90s. So. Uh, little bit different experience, I guess. We didn't have to deal with the race riots, but it was still a little, it had its moments.
Yeah. Now, who was the mayor during that time?
The mayor of Harvey at that time. So right after Johnson left in 90. Graves,
Nick Graves.
Nick Graves,
Yep.
Graves was the mayor. Graves was
Yep.
the mayor.
I know the guy.
Yeah,
You know.
Graves was the mayor.
Yeah. Him and his regime came in. Yep.
They came in. They had, I think, he did 2 terms or so.
Don't
Two.
remember. I
I
wasn't
think,
here then. I had
yeah, I
I
think
had
he did two
left.
terms.
I left in '83 and joined the Navy, and I didn't come back until the '90s, early
Okay.
'90s. 1990. So it was
Yeah, and
different.
I think he was in seat by that time, and if I'm not mistaken, he Kellogg came after him, and
Right.
Kellogg had like 5 terms, so
Yeah.
Kellogg had most of the 2000s. So I think Graves had the 90s, and Kellogg came in the 2000s.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, let me ask you this question. Um, since you grew up in Harvey,
Mm.
and I grew up in Harvey, well, you know, what would you say the trend in politics in the South suburban area, for the good or for the bad, would you say reflected throughout the Southland?
What would I say is the trending
What
way of
was
the
the
politics?
trend? Going from one transition to another transition. Was it better then? Is it better now? Well, of course, we
I
know Harvey is
Harvey's had
kind of,
his
yeah,
challenges.
yeah.
Harvey's had his challenges,
Harvey's
right?
kind of like the West Side or
Yeah,
Gary.
it has its challenges. And remember, we spoke. I think the South suburbs in general. It's just saying I've been saying here, here lately. I think that we all remember the suburbs, South suburbs being suburban, and we talk about the South suburbs being suburban. But it's a saying I say all the time now. We're more urban than we are suburban now, and
Yeah,
I think that we have to understand that it's going to be different in the South suburbs because we are urban now. It is not like it once was 30, 40 years ago, and I think that here in the South suburbs, we still have some great cities. There's still some great towns. I think that we have been a little bit popular lately with some of the things that have gone on in that area and over in that other city, Dalton. But for the most part, the South suburbs is still a great place to live. There's many communities that people can, raise their families in and have a good life for their families and have and really be proud to live where they live at. Like here in Hazel Crush, we have our shared challenges like anyone else does, but yeah, for the most part, you can do well there. You can raise your family. One of the things we pride ourselves on is trying to keep everybody safe. We're going to do it the best we can with making sure people are safe and comfortable with living in their homes and being able to walk the streets and go to the park with their kids. That's important. It's important to me, and I know it's been important to the mayor. It's important to our police chief. But again, the South suburbs in general have come a long way. There's been, we've had our share of challenges in every town. Um, we have struggled, I think, with some things with businesses coming to our way, but I think some of that's starting to turn a little bit. We got the casino just came over there in East Hazel Crest and Homewood there. We've had Amazon come out here to I think 4 or 5 communities now. We have Amazon in Markham, we have Amazon in Madison, we have Amazon in University Park, we have the one I think in Creek. Then there is a small like last ride place in Country Club Hills at one of those at one of the spaces over there in Country Club Hills. And there's a new warehouse that has popped up in Oak Forest
hmm
that is going to be opening up. That's going to be for logistics. So again, I think that we're starting because of our access to highways in the South suburbs, our access, like we mentioned about Harvey having the trains and everything.
hmm
The access to transportation here in the South suburbs has kind of opened us up, and I think that's going to be a big help for us in the future because we do have access to rail and highway.
hmm So, do you think that the Southland attract more young people or seniors, or what do you think that the
I would
Southland attracts now?
I would say we're predominantly I would say a bit of middle age to older population in the South suburbs. I think
Okay.
there are some areas that where we do have young folks are coming to, and I think that that's one of the things we want to try to do in Hayes, because I think to attract young folks, you gotta meet them where they're at. I think that how things are moving now, things are moving toward more entertainment things than anything else, because we all understand we're dealing with the beast of Amazon, and Amazon has taken a lot of
Right.
businesses out because of the access to the internet. So with our communities, we have to shift a little bit and be a little bit creative of what our communities are going to look like in the future. And what I see right now again is a little bit of entertainment, and I think that it's the thing that I've been talking about with my team. More communities becoming. I've been studying this new thing called 15-minute cities, and it's something we were talking about. We're developing in our east side of town, Hayes Cross proper. People want to have green spaces. People want to be able to walk. People want to bike. People want to be able to live inside their community as a unit, be able to go shop, be able to be entertained, be able to eat, be able to take care of whatever they need to take care of financially. I think we have to get that mindset as people like myself are coming into space to try to grow the South Suburbs for the next 20 to 30 years, understanding that we have to adapt to where we're at right now, and we're not going to be where it once was. I think we have to get out of that mindset. It's never going to be like it once was. We
The
have
good
to keep
old
moving
days.
forward. The good old days were a reason. They were the good old days,
Yeah.
and we're moving forward now, and we have to adapt to how things are going to be.
Gotcha. So let me ask you this question. I know a lot of people that sit on the sidelines and they have opinions about everything.
Hmm.
Um, how do you feel the casino, the new one that just
Hmm.
opened up, affects the community overall? Because a lot of people had negativity. Like, oh, we're gonna have all these old alcoholics
Hmm.
standing outside
Hmm.
begging for dollars so they can go play the machines and whatever, whatever. So, what
Yeah.
do you think the enterprising of the casino is?
To be perfectly honest with you, I think it was about 25 years too late. I
Okay,
think that if it would have happened 25 or 30 years ago, there was rumors that it was going to go to Country Club Hills at one time,
right,
Calumet City at one time. Um, I think it could have been a
Matson,
little at
yeah,
Matson. It could have been a
yeah,
little different, right? Um, I feel those. Concerns. I do think that there's a certain element that does come with it, and we just hope that it doesn't spiral.
hmm,
But we live in a culture now. I mean, who would have thought 10, 15, 20 years ago? I mean, there's more sports betting going on now than ever
right,
before. They have commercials on it. I mean, there's everybody has a sport betting site. Everybody's pushing betting. Our young people are gambling more than they've ever gambled. I can't say it's a good thing or bad thing. I just know that's what people are going to do it. You
right,
know, I just hope that some of the elements of that can come with that casino. Um, I hope that it's a little bit more focused on the entertainment than it is with the gambling.
right,
If we
right.
have a place where we can go for entertainment and nice food and the ambiance of going out, not having to go far to have a good experience. I think that's great. But again, the downside of it, I do agree. We need to make sure we monitor it though.
Yeah. So now,
Make sure we put some systems in place.
are they going to be focusing on doing entertainment shows?
From what my understanding is, the hotel portion of the casino hasn't opened up yet. Should
Mm-hmm.
be opening up here sometime this spring here,
Okay.
and they have a rooftop restaurant that that's 21 stories up, so you're gonna have a view of you have a little bit of a view there. I do hear that it is a venue potentially going to be doing some type of entertainment there.
Okay.
Um, so we hope that those are the things that we could focus on, and hopefully those things outweigh some of those things that could be challenges.
Yeah. Well, um, I haven't gone over there. Casinos are not really my thing.
Me either. I've been one time. I went to the first night they opened up just to see
Yeah,
it, and that was
yeah.
it.
I ain't even been that curious.
Yeah.
I would enjoy because I know when I go to Vegas, I've been to Vegas, and they have some of the best shows available,
Hmm.
along with the gambling part of it.
Right.
But when you talk about excellent shows, usually casinos, usually cater in that direction. So I'm hoping they bring that type of entertainment to our area because that would be beautiful.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. And
yeah,
I look. That's what I'm looking. I'm trying to be optimistic and positive that we're going to have some entertainment in the south suburbs. So we don't have
right,
to travel to the city or go out of our area to be entertained.
yeah. Now, A little birdie told me that last year that you were the recipient of a presidential lifetime achievement award. So how did that make you feel?
So, perfectly honest, I remember I was approached about it, and I didn't quite understand that it was a presidential award because they said it was an award. And I really, and I know I came that day, and I was honestly shocked that it was a presidential award when I got there. I thought I was just getting an award.
Mm-hmm.
And to be recognized in that way, um, extremely humble, extremely proud, and thankful for getting it. And I'm appreciative of you and Ed and a few others who gave me the opportunity to get that award. Extremely humble because I didn't know that was a presidential award, and thankful to get that award. And um, just you know, it just kind of like really it's motivating as well because I know I've been in the community, doing things in the community, working in the community for a long time now, and it makes me want to do more. Makes me want to give more. Makes me want to
Yeah.
continue to give back and make sure that we pull up. We get the next person.
Yeah. You still there?
I am saying, yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
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 So,
Yeah.
again, humble, thankful, and very appreciative.
Yeah. And shout out to I call him Sarge.
Mr. Rogers.
Sarge campaigned for you very hard to make sure you were in that number of people on Veterans Day on last year
Yeah.
to receive
And
that award. Go ahead.
and when again, he's a mentor of mine.
Mm-hmm.
He has been here with me when I first started off with the mayor 12, 13 years ago. Ed brought me up under his wing. Um, we were doing economic development with the mayor and looking at building out the city and doing some things. And I consider Ed a friend and a mentor. Someone I can always call if I got concerned, I don't understand something. He's going to figure out a way for me to figure it out. He's going to give me what I need to know and give it to me straight too. Ain't no messing around. Ain't nothing
No,
that
he don't play.
he don't play.
Yeah.
Ed gonna give it to me straight, and I appreciate that. And I like to keep people around me like that. And you know, um, and just always been thankful for his friendship. Always thankful for what he's poured into me over these years. The conversations we've had. Just thankful for the brother. Really thankful for him.
Yeah. It was a stellar group of, you know, veterans and yourself that received the award on the same day on Veterans Day celebration.
Yeah.
Actually,
And just to stand with those guys and ladies, for what they've sacrificed for us, what they've done for us, and what they still do. We have
right?
a great veterans community in Hazel Crest. If I'm, when I found out here, because I was doing some research, that we have over 450 potential veterans. Everybody's not counting. We could have more. We have 450 veterans living in Hazel Crest, and we have a very active veterans commission in Hazel Crest. They feed families once a month in
Yes.
Hazel Crest. So all the sacrifice, all the service they've already done in their life, they're still doing it, and we're
Absolutely.
thankful in Hazel Crest for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Great, 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 great group of people.
Great group.
And I said, and I'll say it again. I'm glad I had a very small role to play and being a part of you guys receiving that award, acknowledging the heroes in the community, and they're still working. They haven't stopped.
They haven't stopped.
You
And
know.
last year, the mayor and Carolyn Carter were able to bring something to our village, and we hope to grow it even more this year and continue to do this and honor our veterans in our community. We have banners that are put up. They,
Right.
they, they go they go up for Memorial Day. They come down after Veterans Day, and they were up and down 183rd Street. We hope that continues to grow. We hope that we can have more uh, residents and people in the South Suburb recognize their family members who have served. I would love for that to go up down 175th Street, go up and down Kedzie, go up and down Dixie Highway. Just again, they deserve whatever recognition we can give them.
Good. Good. I outstanding. Now, um, my good friend and brother have, term limit out,
Hmm.
you know, and he served the community faithfully, and he just won't sit down and go retire somewhere.
No, he's not.
I think he's just now beginning to travel and celebrate life a little bit. You
He has
know,
here recently. He has. I'm happy for him.
yeah, but that leaves a great big void and vacuum in city government over there. So, by you being in office for 13 years and part of his support team, um, do you have some aspirations with the
I do.
city?
I do.
Let's talk
I
about
am.
that.
Let's talk about that. Yes, I am running for mayor. I am running for mayor with my Progressive Party team. I have uh, thought carefully about the people that I want to put around me. One of the things that the mayor and I have, we constantly talk about having good people in government and having good, solid people who are here to do the service, you know. And I got a good group of people that I have chosen to be with me. I think that we can do some great things, continue to do some great things in Hazel Grass and for the South Suburbs. And I didn't get here, I'll share a little bit more about me personally. I didn't get here till a little while ago, I'm not sure. I think we might have spoke about this, Dr. Ron. I'm not sure. You know, um, I recently lost my wife in 23.
My condolences.
Thank you. And if I was still battling and dealing with her health, I'm probably not in this space. But one thing I've learned about life happens, right? And everything happens for a reason. And she went for as long as she could in life, and she had a full life, with seeing children and grandchildren, and everything. So we had a full life, and it allowed me, I guess, to come to a space that I could see and pour into Hazelcrest right now, and I'm focused on pouring into Hazelcrest, and I have a vision for it. What me and my team have been talking about, what we could potentially continue to grow in Hazelcrest, and just piggybacking in off of what has already been done with the success we've had as a team ourselves. I think we've done some good things. Have we been perfect? No, we haven't been perfect. No one's perfect, but I think we've got a lot of things right, and we want to continue to do things in a way that the residents can be proud, and the South Suburbs could be proud of us. And we just want to continue to lead like the mayor has led. We want to continue to lead the Southland. We want to continue to try to do things in the right way, in a positive way, and make sure that we're keeping people safe, like I spoke about a little while ago, making sure that our services are kept up, and making sure that people feel like they can, bring their family here and raise their family. One of the things I say with my team, and one of the things I'm coining right now, one village, one voice, and making sure we have good parks and schools, and making sure that those boards are we have good people on those boards, because everything matters. Everything's interconnected. Everything is an ecosystem. And if we're going to continue to grow Hazel Crest and make the Southland and the South Suburbs here, we all got to get connected. We all have to have a common goal in making good community.
Yeah. Now, I don't live in Hazel Crest. I live in, one of the sister cities that are close by, Country Club Hills.
Yep, good friend
But
of mine, Mayor Ford.
yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
always invited to stuff over there. I don't know why. I guess they're
Mhm.
trying to get me to move, but I can't afford to move.
Come on, you live in the country club. You come up to Hayes Crest. It's about the same thing. I got a spot for you. I got a
Yeah.
spot for you. I got a spot for
Um, but I remember a few years back, one of your good residents, she's also an alumni of the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award, Doris Gales.
you. Yes, I know Miss Doris.
Yeah, and she hosted a meet the candidate type thing at her home, which
Yep,
she's done many, many times
yep,
before.
yep. I've gone to her house for a beat the candidate. Yep.
Yeah, and it was so interesting. Sarge was there,
Yep.
and I was sitting, at the dining room table, and because she always had good food,
Yep.
and I remember a resident came in that lived in a certain section, and she was up in arms and alarmed over the fact that she heard that there was, more violence in Hazel Crest than it was on the west side of Chicago. Now, I know that was a vicious rumor that they were trying to slander,
Hmm.
you guys when you were running
Hmm.
at that time. And people were like, where you live at again? Where they got all this violence at? Because, nobody else heard about it but her, right?
Right.
And if I remember correctly, it was some Europeans that wanted to just slander because the mayor wouldn't do what they wanted him to do. So he said, okay,
Yeah.
well, we're gonna beat up on you.
Yeah.
So what do you say to people outside? Because it wasn't even people that lived in Hazel Crest
Right.
that were spreading this rumor. This was, I think they were from Homewood or something.
So, what I would say to them, I think that we spoke earlier about the south suburbs being more urban than suburban, and I think that we do have our share of things that may happen, but there's nothing violent about what happens in the Hazel Crest. I got the stats at our last board meeting. We didn't have one murder in Hazel Crest for the last couple of years. You know what I mean? I think we had a death that happened this year, but it was self-inflicted. So we don't have any violent we don't have any violent crimes happening that are not happening in any other community. You know, and I think that for the most part, Hazel Crest is a safe community. Hazel Crest is a clean community. Hazel Crest is a welcoming community. And for anybody who thinks that they can't be safe in Hazel Crest, they must don't live in Hazel Crest. I ride my bike through the community. I walk the community. I ride the neighborhoods in the community. There's not a block I haven't been on in Hazel Crest, and I'm telling you, that's not a safe. Hazel Crest is as safe as any place you can live in the south suburbs.
That's a good report because it's a lot of places they can't say that. You know.
Yeah, I ride my bike daily
Yeah.
through not now because it's below zero right now, but
Right. Coldest
in
day of the year. Yeah.
goals that but in the spring and summer you can see me riding the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You can see me riding the neighborhood. I got two tracks I ride through this community because it's something about riding for me and riding the blocks that I like because I get a chance to see people and I also get a chance to see what's going on. And it's a different feel when you're on a cement and you can look around and take a look. Oh man, you might get an idea. Man, I might want to put that flower in my yard. Or no, man, I like that porch that guy's doing over there. So again, Hazel Crest is safe as any community that you can live in.
Yeah. So what would you say your platform is? What is it that you're standing on? What is it makes you stand out above all the other? Is it a crowded field? How many
There,
people are running?
there is a crowded field. There's, I think, four other folks that are running, but it's expected because the mayor's termed out. I think that we all knew that it would be a little crowded. Um, for me, let's just talk about for me, for instance. Yes, I'm getting backed by the mayor and several other people, in the surrounding areas. Um, but I think I'm a great fit for Hazel Crest because I know Hazel Crest. I'm not sure if my other people that are running really know Hazel Crest like I do. Yeah, they've been here for a long time, but like I say, I don't know if they have a vision for what they see for the community. I just spoke to you about what I see. I want 15-minute community, right? 15-minute city, right? You know, um, we currently have an art district that's going up over on the east side of town there. I have some thoughts and plans for doing that. I'm looking to bring veteran and senior housing to Hazel Crest. I think there's a need for affordable veteran housing and senior housing. I think that we need a place for our seniors to go to when they age out of their homes. Again, we spoke about the age of the south suburbs, and my platform is safety, service, and growth. And
Hmm.
one of the things I really would like to bring to Hazel Crest again, because we've been talking safety. I think that I've spoke about this and spoke about it. I mean, for years now, I want public safety officers in the community. I would like to bring that to Hazel Crest because we currently only have a couple. And I would like to make a whole department out of it and be a presence in the community where they in and out of our neighborhoods, in our strip malls, uh, making sure our kids are getting out of the school safe. They can be there parked and be another set of eyes and just be a presence for our children when they're going to and from school. Um, And again, creating and providing good services for our residents. That's it's important to me. Making sure that everybody can get what they need. Making sure we continue to have the best drinking water in the south suburbs, because we do get our water from Harvey. I don't have a problem with saying that. We got great water here at Hazelcrest. We want to continue to have that. So to make sure that our that our that all of our equipment and all of our things that we have to do to have is upgraded that and taken care of. We just put a SCADA system in. It cost $300,000 2 years ago. And want to make sure that it helps with monitoring the water and everything. So I want to make sure that we stay on top of those things. And the growth, again, the growth happens, the development happens because we double down on our people, make sure we're taking care of our people, and we try to grow our east side of town. I think that's the best opportunity for us to have growth in Hazelcrest is on the east side of town. And again, partnering with our schools and our parks and our library to create a community so the young people who may start off in life can come to Hazelcrest to try to start their families.
Yeah,
You know,
that's a fairly decent platform. So you don't think you're going to be overwhelmed moving from trustee to mayor?
so in saying, I'm sure there will be some things that I would hardly have to get used to, but I will be the first mayor to have ever been a clerk and a trustee.
Hmm.
I'll be the youngest mayor ever elected in Hazelcrest as well. I'm the youngest that's running for mayor right now with the most years of experience on the board.
Okay.
The youngest with the most experience on the board.
Okay.
Uh, um, so I'm sure there'll be things that I'll have to try to get used to. But guess what? It's a we do have mentors, right? I can pick up the phone and call the mayor.
There you
You know,
go.
I can pick up the phone and call the mayor of Country Club Hills. I can pick up the phone and call the mayor of Barkham. I can pick up the phone and call the mayor of Phoenix. I can pick up the phone and call the mayor of Matson. So we have relationships. I'm confident that in seat I'll be able to do what's needed to make sure we keep Hazelcrest moving forward.
Absolutely. Well, I like to encourage you because being in public office is not an easy thing to do. So I just want to encourage you and keep you lifted up. And if there's anything that I can do to help, all you got to do is let me know, and I'll let you use your voice to tell the people what you need and how you're trying to get their help.
Yeah, and again, I just appreciate you for what you've already done for me. Giving me an opportunity to get that presidential award really meant a lot to me. And just getting the opportunity to sit here and talk with you today. You reached out to me and said you were interviewing everyone who received that award that day, and just to sit here right now and just chop it up with you a little bit. I didn't know you were a Thornton alum, so you got to start my book already because you went to Thornton. You from Harvey,
All right
Harvey
now.
World, Harvey
Yeah,
World, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
As always, time is going real fast. So what I want to do is what I always do. I ask two questions of all of my guests that come on the show, and the first question is, will you come back and see me again?
absolutely,
Good,
absolutely.
good, 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 good. And the second question that I always like to, well, before I get to that second question, did we get a chance to talk about everything that you wanted to talk about so far?
I think we had a great conversation, Dr. Ron. I think
Okay.
we told a little bit about me, where I came from. We talked about me coming to Hazelcrest. Mentioned a little bit about the family. I think I mentioned about the family. 3 children, 3 grandchildren.
You
Recent with
did.
her.
You did now.
I
And if you
just
don't
did
give them
now.
a shout out, you're going to be in trouble.
Look, I'm in trouble now because I didn't buy my daughters anything for Valentine's Day. They gave me the flux about that. I had to go out and buy something the next day. I felt bad. You
Yeah.
know.
Hey,
Yeah, I
man,
felt bad.
every day is love day. So don't you
It
ain't in
is.
trouble.
No,
You're not
you're
in
right.
trouble at
You're
all.
right. You're right. You're
Every
right.
day. You don't need the creators of chocolate and flowers to tell you when you can bless your children and your loved
Right.
ones. Okay,
Right. You're absolutely right.
so don't even fall
Absolutely
for
right.
that one, bro.
Yeah, I know.
If you want to buy your children flowers every day, do that. You
You're
know,
absolutely right. You're
yeah.
absolutely right.
So
You're absolutely right.
the next time you take them out to breakfast, lunch, or dinner, say, "Hey, Happy Love Day to you."
And I paid up for because I paid for dinner every day this weekend. I mean, I bought them dinner Friday and Saturday. So hey,
There
I
you
did my
go.
part. I did my
So hey,
part.
you ain't did nothing wrong. You know.
Hmm.
So now I'm gonna ask the next question. what would you like to leave with the people today before we get out of here? Got you thinking, didn't I?
You did. You know what? I'm gonna go here then. Love. Here's why I say that. I think that right now in this world we're missing it. I think that we don't. It's a lot of we see it online. You see it everywhere. It's a lot of hate out there, and it's a lot of nastiness out there. And we need to love on each other a little bit more, and um, hug on each other a little bit more. I think that's what's missing from some of these kids out here who having some trouble because they ain't getting loved the right way. And um, if we could just get back to loving each other a little bit more, um, I think we'd be a better place.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And it's funny you should say that because I don't know if you got a chance to look at the program
Mm,
that was, handed out at the event. The theme of the organization that helps bring these awards to our community is called Love Is. And Love
mm,
Is something that stands all by itself. It don't need no help.
nope.
Love it's a multitude. When I was growing up, they used to have this thing called a newspaper. Where you used to be able to get the news before they had the internet and all that stuff. You had to buy,
Yep.
spend a nickel or a dime and get a newspaper.
Yeah.
And they used to have this comic strip because that was my favorite part.
I know the one you're talking about.
It said "Love Is,"
Love
and
is.
then
Yep.
it had a multitude of scenarios that reflect what love was or what
Yep.
love is.
Yep.
So when that got put on my heart to be the theme of the event, and I carried over. It's not over.
Yeah.
Love is.
Mm.
Even though I don't know nobody that's interested in a Trump award, but look, I think I'd have to pay people to accept that award. That's a hard one there. Even though they're still heroes in our community, that
And I think they should be honored, and if they are, but we have to. I'm gonna hit that real quick. I agree with a lot of things that most people feel about the guy, but I'm gonna say this: we have to be a little. We've gone too far to the left and gone too far to the right. It wasn't always like that,
right,
and a presidential award, regardless of who's sitting in that seat, is still a presidential award. And
right,
for you to be honored with that, I think you should accept it.
yeah,
And again, I have no problem with saying this. I'm a Democrat. I'm a known Democrat. But if someone is deserving of being honored because of what they do in the community or what service they have put in, and they get honored with a presidential award,
I agree. But some people kind of particular, who they got
I
hanging on
get
their
it.
wall.
I get it. I get it. I get it. I
you
get
know.
it. I get it. I get it. You know,
Well, look,
I
we're
get.
gonna get out of here, man. I want you to stay right there while I end the show.
Okay.
I want you guys to join me on tomorrow, Street News Now, where we do news commentaries each and every Wednesday at noon right here. You can find the show. Just come right back where you found us at today. The Street News Now every Wednesday at noon. I want you guys to join me each and every Saturday at 12 noon from the desk of Dr.Ron, where I get a chance to tell you some of the things that have been happening with me on this week and what's on my heart. I know if I'm going through it, somebody else is going through it, and I just want to encourage us all. I'm going to get back into doing the Black History Moment each and every Sunday evening. Even though it's Black History Month, I celebrate Black History 365 days out of the year because we've got enough history to talk about 365 days out of the year. So that's coming back, y'all. It ain't gone nowhere too far. I'm going to get it back going again. And I want to thank everybody that have made donations and contributions up to this point in time. Thank you so very much. And if you would like to support what we're doing, these are all the ways that you can do it. Please make contributions. I need your support. Without you, I would not be able to continue to do what I'm doing. And while you're here, please hit that subscribe, like, and share. I know many of you all that live in the Southland, you have relatives or friends that could get together and help support this brother and his run to take over a very, very powerful seat in the community. So help him get to where he's trying to go. He is definitely worthwhile to do it. So that being said, I look forward to seeing you guys on tomorrow. You stay blessed. And then I